The city of Los Angeles simmered under a cruel, relentless summer. The heat wasn't just oppressive. It was unnatural, almost alive, like the sun itself had grown angry at humanity. Scientists blamed climate shifts and ozone thinning, but Dr. Richard Marlowe knew better. He had seen something during his last solar radiation experiment, something that didn't belong to this world. He was a nuclear biologist, studying solar mutation at a private facility. When a containment breach exposed him to direct solar plasma, his body should have burned instantly, but it didn't. He woke up in a hospital 3 days later, his skin pale but intact, his pulse erratic, and his pupils burning gold. The doctors were amazed. They called it a miracle. Richard called it a mistake. The nights brought peace. Under the moon, he felt normal, his thoughts clear, his body calm. But the moment dawn crept over the horizon, he felt the change start deep inside his veins, as if liquid fire flowed through them. His heart raced, his skin itched, his bones ached. He stayed in the dark, hid behind curtains, avoided sunlight like a vampire. Yet curiosity, or arrogance, drove him to test the truth. One morning, when the sky was just bleeding with orange, he stepped outside. The sunlight struck him like a whip. He screamed, watching his arms glow, skin blistering not with burns but transformation, his flesh turning rough, his eyes glowing with inhuman fire. Within seconds, Dr. Marlowe was gone, replaced by something monstrous. The creature was tall, with cracked molten skin and eyes like burning coals. It roared as the sunlight empowered it, its shadow searing the asphalt. When it stumbled back into the shade, the demon within retreated, leaving behind a terrified man trembling on the floor. He tried to destroy his notes, burn his lab, and disappear, but the government had already noticed his strange recovery. They sent an agent, Evelyn Hart, to investigate. She was calm, intelligent, and sharp-eyed, but she carried her own demons from a past mission gone wrong. When she first met Richard, she saw a man terrified of himself. "You don't understand," he told her, trembling. "The sun is not just light. It's a living God, and it's inside me." At first, she dismissed it as delusion. But that night, as they reviewed his research in his dark basement lab, she saw his veins pulse with light as the dawn approached. "Stay back," he warned, voice breaking. "When the sun touches me, I'm not me anymore." Evelyn didn't listen. She pulled the curtains aside, just a little to prove him wrong. A thin shaft of sunlight touched his hand, and the change began. Bones cracked, skin split, his face distorted into a molten mask. His scream turned into a guttural growl, his humanity drowned by a monstrous presence. Evelyn watched in horror as the man before her became a creature that looked half human, half radiant inferno. He lunged toward the light, drawn to it, craving it, feeding on it. She managed to shut the curtain just in time, trapping him in shadow. The creature stumbled back, gasping as the demon retreated. That night, she helped him restrain himself with chains and blackout curtains. "You can't stay here," she whispered. "Someone will find you." But Richard shook his head. "It's not about me anymore. The sun knows me now. It watches. It waits." Days passed. The heat grew worse across the city. Strange solar flares caused blackouts and hallucinations. People reported seeing faces in the sunlight, hearing whispers during noon. Richard realized it wasn't only him. The solar experiment had opened a rift, something from the heart of the sun trying to bleed into Earth. "The demon is real," he told Evelyn, "and it wants more than me. It wants to be free." Together, they traced the event back to his reactor chamber beneath the facility. When they arrived, the metal was melted, walls pulsing faintly with a glow like molten gold. The readings were off the charts. As the sun rose, the chamber began to thrum, resonating with some otherworldly force. Evelyn pointed her gun toward the core, but Richard stopped her. "If you destroy it, it might spread," he said. "If I go inside, I might contain it." She grabbed his arm. "You'll die." He smiled weakly. "I already did." The first ray of sunlight hit his face as he stepped into the chamber. His body ignited in flames of pure gold. The creature inside him roared to life, stronger than ever, but Richard fought it, his voice echoing through the inferno. "Not this world, not her," he cried. Evelyn could barely watch as he merged with the light, his body dissolving into a blinding blaze. Then silence. The light faded, leaving only ash. For a moment, she thought it was over. But when she stepped outside, she noticed something terrifying. The sun was burning red. Across the horizon, shadows stretched unnaturally long, and in every beam of light, faint silhouettes of human forms twisted in agony. She whispered, "Oh God, he didn't destroy it. He became it." Weeks passed. Los Angeles became known for its solar plague. People exposed to sunlight too long began developing strange burns shaped like hands or faces pressed into their skin. The government denied it, calling it radiation sickness. But Evelyn knew better. She moved constantly, hiding from the daylight, documenting everything she saw. One evening, she found a message burned into the ground near her shelter, letters carved by pure heat. "Evelyn, stay in the dark." She froze, realizing the sun itself was calling her name. That night, in her dreams, she saw Richard's glowing eyes in the burning sky. "Help me," he said, "before I burn everything." Evelyn made a desperate plan. If the demon lived through light, she needed to destroy the source of its connection. The solar reactor's satellite uplink still orbiting Earth. She broke into a military base, armed herself, and hijacked a transmission to overload the satellite. As dawn broke, she stood on the roof, staring at the blood-red sunrise. "If this kills me," she whispered, "then so be it." The moment sunlight hit her, she screamed, not from pain, but from transformation. The demon inside the light reached for her, merging with her through the radiance. Flames danced around her, yet she didn't burn. Instead, her eyes glowed the same gold Richards once did. She raised her weapon, aimed at the sky, and fired. The explosion lit the heavens. For one blinding second, every shadow vanished. The world turned white. When the light faded, the sun dimmed to a gentle gold, its heat soft again. People returned to the streets. News anchors claimed it was a solar storm that had passed. But deep in the desert, a woman walked alone, her skin shimmering faintly like glass under sunlight. She carried a notebook filled with Richard's equations and a warning. The sun remembers. Sometimes, when she looked into a mirror, she saw the demon's reflection smiling back. She could feel it waiting for another dawn, another chance. And in her dreams, she stood beside Richard beneath a burning sky, both half human, half light, watching the horizon together. The world never knew the truth, that the sun itself was alive, and it had found its new host.